What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. What's up, Phil?
I'm Phil.
Yes, I know. That's why I said, what's up, Phil? What are we doing today?
You didn't even say your name.
They know me. I'm Eric. I'm Eric today. Today, I'm Eric. Today, he's Phil.
We're sipping on the newest Bardstown collab series bottle, AMRUT. Which, AMRUT is the, kind of the big name in, Indian single malt. So already people are getting nervous when I say that. I know they are, because they hear single malt and they're like, just be open-minded.
I mean, unless you're
Be open-minded.
if you're a Scotch drinker, most Scotch drinkers prefer single malt.
But this one it's got some old whiskey in it now.
Yeah, it does.
It's well, why don't you pour us some while
you
so we let it breathe a little bit.
Look, shout out to Jazz and Karen for popping on the show with us last week. You know, they were in town for Tales of the Cocktail. I know most of you have seen that episode already, and we did get to try this with them, but we didn't really get to do a review on it.
Correct.
So I would, you know, that's kind of the idea behind this, kind of give you an upfront, honest review of this.
So it's got 2 MGP ryes in it, or I'm assuming MGP ryes. Cool. We know the mash bills. We know the percentages of each blend, that whiskey that's in the blend. We don't know the specific distillery it's sourced from.
No.
When I see 95.5
rye,
Indiana rye,
yeah,
I'm assuming MGP. Now, there is some, what is it, 75, what's the year on that one?
75 corn, 14-year Kentucky.
14-year Kentucky. So, if it's 75, 14, that's 17% of the blend, 75, 13, 12 malted barley, 13 rye, which to me means you either got 14-year turkey or 14-year Jim Beam.
Yeah. And obviously they won't.
That's just me deconstructing.
Reverse engineering.
No one, for the record, no one has told us.
No, well, they can't. They can't tell us that,
and you'll never know for sure any of this.
Yeah, and I'm with you when you think about like the 95.5 rye. Like even when you hear 95.5 rye, like even without the Indiana, like my first thought goes to MGP, and MGP puts out some banger ryes.
So the two youngest whiskeys in here are the ryes.
Mm-hmm.
That's 9 and 8 year ryes in here. And they got a 14-year-old, a 10-year-old, and 11-year-old Kentucky bourbon blend in here. So it's some old whiskey in this bad boy.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna fall off the edge, man.
Nah, I know what I'm doing.
You say so. If you say so.
Where's your dumb plant?
It's in Hull. It's getting maximum exposure for office visitors, and they can, you know, get some one-on-one time with Claude while we do this.
Hope it dies.
It won't. It smells so good.
Cherry, man.
Tons of cherry. I'm almost getting a hint of grape.
Cherry. Cinnamon.
I'm getting some baking spice. I'm getting
nutmeg.
Are you getting the rye spice? Like, I mean, with as heavily loaded with rye as this is, it's not an overpowering rye on the nose.
Well, the first thing I smell is cherry. Then I get like nutmeg, cinnamon.
You
like you smell that slightly woody, darker note in there. That's that. I think that
I'm getting now. I'm getting some oak.
How long do we want to let these sit?
We don't. I'm thirsty.
Okay.
But I mean, okay. So are you getting that grape note that I talk about?
Get cherry.
You get cherry. I get cherry, but I'm getting. It's almost like a grape and cherry.
It's the fruit I get. Cherry.
It smells good.
It smells really good.
It smells really good. That was a nice ring. It had a nice ring to it. That sounded good.
think we need a second sip just to. This is a
This is very good.
very complex whiskey.
It's full
Like if
of
you're
flavor.
expecting the traditional like bourbon notes, you're not gonna get that. If you want your palate to go on a little adventure, if you're into that complex, the single malt is not heavy on this.
No,
Like
it's really not.
if you are hesitant to buy this bottle because you're thinking Amrut single malt, it's very. I don't really even get it until. I mean, I may get a hint of that like smoke or char or like tobacco after it's sat on my palate for a while because this is a very long finish.
Extremely.
But don't be scared of it just because you're thinking single malt. I'm gonna hate it.
I think the thing that kind of chases some people away with their collaboration series is the price. You know, but I guess with that being said, like this drinks like $100+ bottle. It doesn't drink like a $40 or $50 bottle. It's got, like you said, it's got the complexity on the palate. It's got an extremely long finish, and it's not a finish that changes much. It's like it kind of like it carries that same profile all the way through, start to finish.
It's one that you're gonna need a couple of sips on before you kind of like hone in on what you're tasting.
Right.
So I'm definitely getting that cherry on the palate that I was getting on the nose. It's one of the first things I get on it is that cherry. And then almost immediately after that, the spices start kicking in. The nutmeg and the cinnamon.
Do you get any kind of like butteriness on the back end of it? I get like some, and that might be the single malt that I'm tasting, but I'm getting a little bit of like a butteriness to it.
To me, I think that's what I'm getting. That's like nutmeg.
Okay.
Almost like this kind of slightly darker woody note that's not wood, but it's in that family.
Right.
I think that's what I'm picking up on, and I do get that. Yes. It goes from cherry, then it goes to those bacon spices, nutmeg, cinnamon. I know Todd had a taste. He said he had tea on there. I'm trying to search for some black tea here.
He gets that on Little Book. Because I remember him telling me like specifically, and I was trying to chase that note down, and I couldn't. I didn't. I guess I got it a little bit on that, but I don't really get a whole bunch of tea on this. I get what you're getting. I'm getting a fruitiness on the nose and the early palate.
I can see tea, like a spiced tea.
Yeah, I don't drink a lot of tea, so my palate experience with tea is not the best.
So one more sip. But you know what he also says about that little book, chapter 7 he's talking about, is how complex it is. And this is kind of in that.
I wouldn't mind doing a blind with this in the Little Book. Because of
you'd be able to.
I would lean towards this. I don't get that nuttiness.
The more you drink it, the better it gets.
I think it was good from the first 4, but it's very good. Give me a tip ranking on this.
I don't want a tip.
Why?
I don't want a tip.
You don't want a tip.
I told you before the show, I don't want to tip everything. You completely ignored me.
I did.
And just went right in for it.
I probably forgot.
Let's see.
It's been a busy day, man.
Yeah. Because it just takes a couple of sips to nail this down. This is like trying to comp this to something I've had before. I can't do it.
No?
I can't.
I mean, as far as the complexity goes, you can't comp it to anything?
like one that's equally hard to nail down, maybe.
I'm trying to. Yeah,
but
I'm
as
trying to
far
think.
as similar bottles,
No, I don't find anything.
man, that finish is long.
Yeah, it
Good
is.
God.
Yeah, it's long. I like it.
Riveting analysis.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, so in conclusion, I think I nailed it here. I think I got it down.
Bardstown, just on a side note, has some of the best looking bottles.
Cherry, nutmeg, cinnamon. Finish kicks in, sits on your palate a really long time. That's when I first get the slightest hint of single malt. And it's that kind of drier tobacco / smoked note on the finish. And it just hangs around. So to me, MSRP, I think, is like
It's
160.
It's like 160, 159.
160. This is a buy for me. This is of the collabs I've had, this might probably the best one I've had.
Have you had Foursquare?
I haven't had Foursquare.
That's the one that I'm really intrigued by.
Buy it. We'll do a show on it.
I intend to. I'm intrigued by that just because I like rum and I like rum finishes. I think that would be a really good one. But this is definitely a buy for me.
At 160?
At 160, I think so. I think it drinks. I don't want this to sound snobby, right? It drinks like a high-end whiskey.
I agree with the just the complexity of it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like you're getting your money's worth with this, right? Like, there's some bottles that you paid $100 for. You're like, it's like I feel like I overpaid for it, you know?
Like, if you're the type of person that wants to have their whiskey and just want it to be super rich and desserty or traditional, this ain't for you. If you like that complexity, you like your palate to go on a little trip, this is right up your alley. Don't be scared by the single malt nature of it. It's hinted in there, but it's definitely not overwhelming. Just be a little adventurous.
Yeah, so I mean, so it's a buy for both of us. We both enjoy it. It's very complex. Anything else? You got anything to add? Or you got something to throw? You better pull your no, sir. Oh, because you're gonna throw my whole bobblehead over there. Guys, with that, we will see you tomorrow. Actually, we've got something cool on the agenda for tomorrow too.
Oh, you're not allowed to tell them?
We're gonna do Green River Foolproof tomorrow.
Green River Foolproof.
I think that'll be pretty fun. And we've got a really fun episode Friday. I'll let you tell them.
No, that's a secret.
Figured it might have been. So with that, we will catch you on the next one and see you tomorrow.